Take two. This is Stephen, the Disney driver Robinson. You're watching the one and only Sport Icon. Bow!
Okay, so Frank Warren spoke to TalkSport and said this about the Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury undisputed heavyweight world title fight. We're still none the wiser. You need the agreement of both boxers to make it happen, and at the moment, we haven't got that. I've got a pot, and I can only pay what's in it. If it's not enough money, then it won't happen. Frank Warren's statement. Now, I haven't watched the actual interview with him, but I'm hearing that he was getting a little bit ratty in it. Okay? Now, of what we know, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, they're working together to try and put on this fight alongside Oleksandr Usyk's promoter, Oleksandr Usyk, and that as well, okay? Now, the money, the agreements, and all the terms and the conditions and everything is being put together by those gentlemen, right? Bob Arum has said that Oleksandr Usyk agreed to his terms, agreed to everything weeks ago. John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, said that Tyson wants to be the A-side, and if he's not going to be the A-side in the split, then the fight ain't going to happen. People need to pay him his worth, all that kind of good stuff, right? Oleksandr Usyk put out a social media post a few weeks ago saying how Tyson Fury is asking for too much money. And Oleksandr Usyk, yes, of course, he said that he will fight Tyson Fury for free. But what he means is Fury has also got to fight for free. Oleksandr Usyk, which is Oleksandr Usyk's promoter, said that Tyson Fury is asking for Hollywood-level type purses. Saudi Arabia even refused to pay. So we know where the problem is, and I don't care how much you love Tyson Fury and how much you support him and how much you rate him as a fighter and he's the greatest of all time. I don't really care about any of that. You have to see that it's all on Tyson Fury's shoulders. He's the one that's holding it up. Mr. Businessman, who says he's not a businessman, he's a Spartan. He's got more than enough money to last several lifetimes. He doesn't care about money, he doesn't need money. But here he is. I mean, it seems that every time that Fury has some kind of negotiations, there seems to be a problem. Nothing seems to be straightforward. He's got to be the biggest diva in boxing. Listen, he's a super talent. Can he beat Usyk? Of course he can beat Usyk. He can beat anyone. But he's an ultimate diva. This whole huge celebrity PR stunt, it's fake. It's fake. Much like Gervonta Davis's one, it's fake. He's not the superstar that he will proclaim to be. And as far as Frank Warren saying here how we can only pay out what's in the pot, and if they're asking for too much money that's not in the pot, then the fight won't happen. Well, at the end of the day, the pot doesn't really need to be that big, does it? And I'll explain why. Because the pot obviously has to pay for the venue. If it's going to be Wembley Stadium, for example, that's $400,000. Okay? And of course, you've got the security, you've got the undercard, you've got the Queensbury in the top rank, and all the staff working together and all that kind of stuff, the punditry team, etc., etc. But when it comes to the main event, of course, right, they're going to ask for a minimum guarantee. And I'm sure the minimum guarantee is going to be in the fucking pot. I'm sure it is, because it's not like they're going to be asking for a minimum guarantee of 100 million each, is it? No, of course not. The minimum guarantee only has to be about, I don't know, between 5 and 10 million, I suppose. But the rest of their money will be built on pay-per-view sales. If Fury is that much of a superstar that he can attract a huge audience, then he should be quids in with the pay-per-view, shouldn't he? If he's got to break all kinds of records, as people believe that he may well do, then what is the problem? You pay them a split of what the pay-per-view generates. It's not complicated. It really isn't. And I don't care if you're a super fan of Tyson Fury. I don't care what it is that you say. He's the issue. He's the hold-up. He is the hold-up. Oleksandr Usyk is already in camp. I'm not going to tell you where it is, okay? But he's in camp. It's in a foreign country. Not in Ukraine, not in the UK. He spent out a lot of money to hire out this particular gym. It's a huge facility. He's got sparring partners over there. He's paying sparring partners. He's paying for their accommodation, for their travels and their expenses and all that kind of stuff. He's paying for all this. It ain't cheap, believe me, it ain't cheap. He ain't going to do that unless he has agreed his side. He ain't going to do that. It'd be a complete waste of money. He's got to have been given some kind of incentive to say, yeah, you know what? The fight's on. We're agreed all our side. No, we've got to do is wait for Tyson. I'm sure he will. Okay, cool. Let's kick off camp. That's why my pal Stephen Robinson's over there with him. I don't know if Tyson Fury started his camp yet. I'm going to presume he has. As we're only, 8 weeks out or thereabouts. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How can negotiations go on for this long? They've been negotiating before, I'll say it again, before the Derek Chisora third fight with Fury. They've been negotiating before then. Tyson Fury was giving Anthony Joshua deadlines of 24 hours and this, that and the other, regardless of all his commercial endorsements and all that kind of stuff, which is very, very complicated stuff, which requires lawyers and all kinds of things, but yet giving Joshua 24 hours to sign or he's going to be pulling out because he's going to be fighting in February regardless. Well, here we are, March, and we don't even have a fight date yet. He's the biggest diva in boxing, man. He's the biggest diva. A super talent, no doubt, but a diva. And he's an absolute joke of a father as well. He's absolutely bonkers. I mean, regardless of the split, okay, whether it's 50% each or whether it's 45, 55, 60, 40, whatever it may be, it's going to be far, far, far less at Wembley Stadium than what it would have been had Tyson Fury just accepted a 50% equal split in Saudi Arabia. So even if he got the A side at Wembley Stadium, it's still far less than what he would have got in Saudi Arabia. What a dumbass. You're right, he's clearly not a businessman. He's not, but he's trying to be. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. This fight should have been agreed, announced ages ago. It should have been. It's Oleksandr Usyk's team. They are the ones who came to the UK and sat down with Frank Warren and Queensberry to thrash out this deal. They even went to a football match at the Emirates, I said Highbury, at the Emirates Stadium to watch Arsenal. They did all that, okay? They're the ones making the effort. I said Usyk has already gone abroad, brought in my mate Stephen Robinson and a couple of others to kick off the camp, to get it going. He wants this fight. He's chasing Tyson Fury. But Fury just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. And if you ask him the question, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You do know what's going on because you're the fucking hold up, mate. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up if you like and subscribe. And I'll catch you all on the next video.